The way you dress should reflect who you are. Therefore, I wear glasses because I'm smart. My vision is perfect. This week, we're diving into the totally true history of Benjamin Franklin. When Benjamin Franklin was a child, someone told him the banana orange knock knock joke. You know the one. And then he made the face that you just made. And it stuck like that for the rest of his life. As it turns out, when you start a nation, you need to give yourself loads of superfluous titles. Ben Franklin was Minister to Sweden, Minister to France, Postmaster General, Speaker of the Assembly, and President of Pennsylvania. So when someone tells you that Ben Franklin wasn't president, that's incorrect. He was president of Pennsylvania. He was also completely mental. During the Revolutionary War, he would tie kites to people while they were sleeping. If they ever tried to take the kite off, they would immediately be struck by lightning. Ben Franklin was the guerrilla backbone of the United States. His inventions were integral to the success of the United States in war. The original purpose of bifocals, he invented bifocals by the way, was to magnify the power of lightning. He eventually invented the lightning rod, which he used to blast legions of opposing soldiers. He also invented flippers. These helped him with his underwater recon missions. He invented those grabby things that when something's too far away, you pull the trigger and it grabs things. The original purpose of those was for long-distance judo. So after George Washington disappeared, Benjamin Franklin organized a tournament to decide who was worthy of running the nation. He forced all the Founding Fathers to fight each other by tying kites to each of them. If they refused to fight, they would be struck by lightning. The Founding Fathers tried to subdue each other peacefully, but many of them ended up with severe injuries. 2 Founding Fathers were able to remove their kites, however. Those Founding Fathers were John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Adams shouted, "Stop this madness, Franklin!" I think he sounded like that. Ben Franklin stood out of his chair and he said, "Not until we have a new president." Ben Franklin had both John Adams and Thomas Jefferson on the ropes. They couldn't compete with the lightning rod. Just zapping him and stuff. But all of a sudden, all of a sudden. But then, returning from their 5-year mission, were the Chancellor, Robert Livingston, and the Shadow of Liberty, Roger Sherman. If you don't know about these guys, I should probably make a video about them. But for now, they're like 2 sides of the same coin. Yin and yang, light and darkness. Ben Franklin chuckled. Here again, the Committee of 5. I'm not bridled by Washington this time, men. None of you are worthy to take his place! Sherman shouted, "You fool! Stop this foolishness, you foolish fool!" Thomas Jefferson stated that Roger Sherman was the least eloquent of all the Founding Fathers. Ben Franklin was 100 years old at this point. He had used all of his stamina fighting. He collapsed to the ground. The others rushed over to check on him. Even though he had gone completely insane, they all still respected Benjamin Franklin. So Thomas Jefferson and John Adams decided to fight in the old way, and John Adams came out on top, becoming the president. As Ben Franklin's dying wish, John Adams promised that at the end of his term, Thomas Jefferson would be president, then Robert Livingston, then Roger Sherman. Unfortunately, not all of them lived long enough for Ben Franklin's wish to come true. Sorry guys, not every story has a happy ending. Did something not seem right about this story? Ask me a question. I will answer it. And subscribe. I may never be a top tier YouTuber, but I'd like to at least be a C-list YouTuber. That silver play button would look quite nice in my bedroom.